check. Sound check. Sound check. Check one. Check one. ห็นไหมI did.
Welcome to point again.
Yeah, man. I see all you have a MSJ candidate in the place, right?
Who?
I see a MSJ vehicle pass there.
Yeah, we have 3 MSJ candidates. We trying to keep them as quiet as possible. They have about 300 and something votes that we want to take half from. That we wanted to give we half from.
Well, understand where they keep talking, they talk about them independent and them not taking.
The motive is relevant to keep the element of strike the union. Want to be an ND and the union to negotiate backward. I know that. So you need to keep it.
Check 1 2 1 2. Sound check 1 2 1
Remember when they buy all these big and dress? Come in and millions if you check. Tell these people to how you get it. PNL government they want it. Every minute in the basic budget. PNL government they want it. Suffer poor people in pandemic. PNL government they want it. Give people send them big laugh at it. PNL government they want it. They want it. PNL see the bride. They have an election tonight. Come down from there, Rowdy. Come down from there, Rowdy. Make me treat me that right. Some can't do to them with that right. Come down from there, Rowdy. Come down from there, Rowdy. Come down, come down. PNL in town, Paris. strong and we ain't backing down. Cause we fed up of this clueless dictator, we're running the island.
This man come to mash up the country. Now the people have to push back. So it's time for us to stand firm and show them we ain't taking that.
So stand your ground. And if you're fed up of the crime, stand your ground. The food price is too high, stand your ground. And every 2 months pass, stand your ground. Don't only raising the gas, stand your ground.
All across the nation,
stand your ground.
It's only home invasion,
stand your ground. Crowd the light been raised, stand your ground. And only guns in the place, stand your ground. So we don't back down, 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 stand your ground. This current administration, they don't care about the people. Everything they do in this country here is to fulfill the ego.
These people raise the gas and they laugh and saying how we ain't riot yet.
It's time for we to stand firm and show them
Good night,
right now we
ladies and
upset.
gentlemen.
So stand your ground.
Good night, all of you who have gathered here from the far reaches of this constituency, from Cedrus, from Icacus, from the borough of Point Fortin, welcome. This is a very important meeting and we want to make sure that we start on the right note. So could I ask you to stand please for the national anthem? In the vast of open ground, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land, we pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place. Thank you. Could you please remain standing for an opening prayer, please? DJ, are we having trouble with the opening prayer? We have a lot of prayer people on the platform. All right, so as not to keep you waiting too long.
Creator of the universe and embodiment of divine wisdom and light, we come before you with thanksgiving and praise. May your will be done in our nation as it is in the heavens. Please bless our political leader, party officials, activists, and all the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Give us the grace to always see good, be good, and do good, and the courage to serve the people. Protect us as we stand against injustice and iniquity, and inspire our endeavors to find the right solutions to the problems that are affecting our fellow citizens. Grant that we may always work together with humility and respect for the greater happiness of all and the honor and glory of our country. Amen.
Amen and amen. Very noisy, but that's all right. All right, just one more prayer, and we cannot pray too much because this is a very difficult and a very challenging elections before us. So let me call to the microphone Pastor Ram, as I know him, from the Jesus Salvation Healing Ministry, right here in Cap De Ville. Pastor Ram.
Praise God. Praise God. A pleasant good night. Father, we thank you in the name of Jesus. We ask you for divine protection through your unction from above, Lord, and through your Son Jesus Christ. We thank you for touching your people in Jesus' name. Amen and amen. God bless you.
Thank you, Pastor Ram. And you can take your seats now, and thank you so much for your attention. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very heavily loaded program. Some of you may know me as no stranger to the microphone, but tonight I am not a guest speaker, thank God, because I may have too much to say. My job is just to act as the chairperson of the evening's proceedings, to make sure that I introduce the speakers and to make sure that everything goes according to a prescribed program. So without any further ado, let me introduce the first speaker. He's a man of enormous proportions physically. He's a very good friend of mine. And you know, I don't know his surname. I know him as Jai. So let me introduce to you our first speaker, Jai from the Point Fortin constituency. Microphone is yours, Jai.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon to members at the head table. All protocols observed. UNC family, good night. Today I was out and coming down from San Fernando, and one of the things we observe is that the government is out there today busy doing road repairs. For how much years our councillor from Cedros have been begging for repairs on the roadway, but only when the writ of election have been issued, we see that pavers can work in this country. I think it have an issue with pavers in this country that only when a president issues a writ of election, we see them working. Some of the engineers that we have in the UNC will have to work on that. Because I assure you, going back into this and having our councillor there, he is going to work hard to ensure that that problem is fixed and we have some paving work in Cedros. Tonight, my job is easy because we have a hard-working councillor, a councillor who has devoted his time and effort in seeing that Cedros as a community benefits from whatever they need and whatever he could get done through our government, who is not supporting and funding a regional corporation. His task inside it is so difficult that nobody knows what to do or when they get anything to do anything. Letters have been writing. I show councillor fed up write letters to fix road, to fix drain, to assist community members. But Cedros have seen this councillor as someone who continues to work and continues to persevere in spite of all the challenges that they have faced. So I assure you here tonight, as I stand with this councillor and I endorse him again as the councillor for Cedros, that his job, although it's humongous in task, he will persevere and he will succeed in bringing betterment to the residents of Cedros and the burgesses in the Superior Regional Corporation. My friends, as we go through communities, through canvassing, we see that on the opposite side, which is the Point Fortin borough, we see a lot of neglect. And apparently they are comfortable with it. But we are asking these people and them to open their hearts, open their minds, open their eyes to see that change is inevitable, and for betterment to come, we must remove this PNM government who is in charge and who has not, for the past, how many years they have run the Borough Corporation, have not given anything to Point Fortin. Being in Cap De Ville here, it's easier to get to Point Fortin than to Cedros. So most of the time the people from this area reach out to Point Fortin for services that they need. And they go through the same horrible roads every day. Ladies and gentlemen, my message to you tonight is simple. On election day, if the road is bad, vote them out. You're not safe, vote them out. Education is poor, vote them out. And I assure you, bringing back our councillor, Shankar Tilaksin, to Cedros, we're going to have a strong team in the Superior Regional Corporation and a strong team working for you all. Thank you very much.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that was my friend, my big friend, Jai. Right? I will ask him his surname at the end of this meeting. But Jai is a very responsible person, very, very active in the Point Fortin constituency. And when we have anything to do and he has been assigned a responsibility, you know you will get it done. We like to have people like that around, but we also like to introduce new people. And tonight I want to introduce a relatively new speaker to the platform. I have only met her tonight, but I have very great confidence that she knows what she's about and she will say what she has to say, and you will listen and enjoy and probably want to ask her later to explain some of what she has said to you. But she is also a member of the Jesus Salvation Healing Ministry. So I am not going to try to anticipate what bent she's going to put on her presentation to you. I am only going to introduce her. Her name is Natasha Edwards from Cap De Ville, and she has volunteered to speak on behalf of our candidate tonight, Mr. Tilak Singh. So without any further ado, can I introduce Natasha Edwards of the Jesus Salvation Healing Ministry to address you. Natasha.
Yes. Good night to the members of the UNC party. Good night to Mr. Bradshaw and everyone who is here tonight. I am speaking to you on behalf of Jesus Salvation Healing Ministry. And I'm speaking to you tonight from the heart of God. And let me tell you something. When God says something, take him at his word. Do not be afraid. God told me something about this man here. Your representative for Cedros, right? And if God says he's a good man, and he works for the people, and he cares about the people, you all know him better than me. I just met him tonight personally, but I know what God says, and I'm a person, when God says something, I take him at his word. And I'm talking to you from a heart of prayer and from the heart of God. This man cares about people. This man loves people. And God is in support of this party. He is fed up at what is going on in this country. You see all this political strategy that's going on here? Where happened only how much years now? Why all the roads wasn't paved before now? Why it is when election come up you see them doing something? Don't fall for that. All of this is political strategy. Right? But they have to do what they have to do. Leave them alone. God is going to bring a change to this country. He is fed up and the poor people suffering in this country. He is fed up and he is going to bring change. Do not be afraid. You all see what happened in Tobago? Did you all see what happened in Tobago? And change came in Tobago and God said something and he did it? Believe me when I tell you, I'm a person I don't like ever say God says something when he didn't say. And I'm telling you, when God says something, he will do it. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Mr. Shankar, God has assigned, I'm talking to you from a heart of prayer. God has assigned angels to you and all the members, all the counselors at this party. Do not be afraid. Nothing these people can do to you will ever prevail. God is a big God. Change is coming. This country have to come back to glory. This country have to come back, and God want to bring it back. Amen, people? Be loyal, be faithful. Endure. Do not give up. And you will see what God will do. This man love people, and I am hearing the heart of God telling me this man love people. You all know him better than me. So you all know if I'm saying what I'm saying is true, yes or no. Right? And if God said that, I believe him. And I am supporting who God supports. And God is supporting this party. He is fed up. Jesus is supporting this party because he is fed up at what the poor people are suffering in this country. Right? So my encouragement to you tonight, do not give up. You are all on the right side. I was talking to my pastor earlier and I say this is the right side. This is the right side for betterment for this country. I am working with the government. I'm not going to say where. I know what Auntie Kamala did for the people. He knows what I'm talking about. Brother Jai knows what I'm talking about. I know what she did back in 2013. Right? So I know when she come back, you're going to see betterment. Bless God, bless everyone. Have a great night.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Natasha Edwards. I only met her tonight, and I will never forget her. That was very impressive, Natasha. I understand why you wanted to be on the platform tonight, and you said the things that needed to be said. God is behind this campaign of the UNC. Change is coming. Everybody could feel it. It's coming, and nothing that the PNM does, all their low tricks, all the road paving, all the promises is going to work for them. You know what was happening over the last 3 days? The Member of Parliament for Point Fortin, many of you have never seen him since the last election. He was in his office taking down the names of people to give them jobs after the election. Well, he got overwhelmed. He was flooded with so many people that they had to close the door. Because all they are doing is bluffing, and don't let them bluff you, right, in this election. This election is taking on the aura of a general election. You can feel it. And they're saying a lot of things about Kamala. Kamala said, light them up. They say, oh, she shouldn't say that. And I think she was right. Today she said that she's not apologizing to anybody, right? And she's correct again. And the UNC is correct on many things, but the press tends to undermine some of our good statements, and they will blow up things and say things that we didn't say. But I am not here tonight to make speeches, right? I am tempted to, but I won't. Tonight, this is a UNC platform. It's UNC from Point Fortin to Ikakas, and it's UNC as well in terms of representation tonight in New Village. So I am going to introduce to you our candidate, the UNC candidate for New Village. His name is Denison Pierre. I will leave it up to Denison to tell you what is happening in his campaign. But I am astounded when I see some of the videos coming out, the number of people who are not only supporting him, but the people who are coming out to greet him. That tells you something. And I will let Denison tell you the rest. Denison Pierre, the microphone is yours.
right, pleasant good night to each and everyone that is here tonight. I want to firstly say thank God for all of us being here tonight to show the PNM that we are fed up, right? Yes. And firstly, I want to say thank you, Auntie Kamala, for the opportunity to represent and bring home New Village to the UNC, right? Firstly, in Cap De Ville, I want to call out Pundit Street. Don't feel I'm leaving you all out. I am here to support you, but with your support, I would start to get things done as soon as possible, right? Not picking and choosing anything that needs to be done, but you know and I know. I am not here to bring out your names or your home areas to shine you, but we need change. I am stand up here as the proud candidate from Point 410 to say we are fed up and we are going to make the change. Something I want to adjust that the guy just said before he left, sorry to call him guy, is that this message that Auntie Kamala sending is not just a threat message. It's a reminder to say that we are fed up, and that is the way the lifestyle is speaking now. So to get the attention of people standing for the right thing, nobody wants to kill anyone. So if you know about a gun in my house, how it will come is to put a stop to the nonsense and the wrong thinking in some of the people's mind. Okay? In the Bible there's David and Goliath, right? And there's Bible, there's David and Goliath. We do not want no wrongdoings here anymore. We are fed up at the floods, the roads, the last minute fixing, the hungry parents, the hungry children, the dilapidated schools in the areas. Right? And a lot of people in Point 14 has been sitting down for over too long. Right, people? I, Denison Pierce, I am coming to support you with your support. Help me help you, help Trinidad. Thank you very much.
Jerusalem, ikayalami.
Something, you remember when the national anthem was being played? I was singing. Did you notice the difference? No, just like the national anthem recorded. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you listened to that brief statement from Denison. Denison has entered politics for the first time in his life. He has always been politically interested. He has been interested in what is going on in his constituency, in his village, in the country as a whole. And I am amazed how easily, in 5 minutes, he touched so many of the things that are wrong with Trinidad and Tobago. And he stands convicted in the name of God, and I like that, in the name of God, to do whatever he can to win that seat, to bring change to Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you, Denison. Now, we have been going around the whole constituency of Point Fortin, right, asking people for their support. You know what is amazing, I find? Not only the level of support, but the kinds of people who are coming out to say yes. And Denison was saying it, Natasha said it, change is on the horizon. People are fed up. Now, we are here tonight to support Shankar Tilok Singh. Shankar represents an area under great stress from Point Fortin, Cap De Ville, all the way to Icacos. He is the only UNC representative, and he does a wonderful job. You will hear more about how well he does later on. By comparison, the Point Fortin borough has 6 representatives, and they have 4 additional aldermen. And of the aldermen, 1 is the mayor. And in addition to that, they have the parliamentary representative. What's his name again? Kennedy Richards. Oh, it's so easy to forget, right? And in Point Fortin, they haven't done an iota of what Tilok Singh has done in the vaster area that he covers. What else can you ask for in a representative? And what does that tell you? it tells you that the Point Fortin borough with their representatives is a waste of our time and energy. For those of you who are going to be voting on the other side, like myself, like some of the people who will speak here tonight, you will realize that there's a passion in each of us to end the nonsense that passes for representation. So tonight I am going to bring a man who is very passionate to the microphone. He has been around for a long time. He is the treasurer of the Point Fortin constituency of the United National Congress. He is a very hard-working person. He's a no-nonsense person. If he has something to say and something to do, he says it and he gets it done. So let me introduce you to my good friend, Mr. Brent Clark.
Jerusalem, ikayalami, ilonoloze, uhambe nami, zungangishilana, dawo yami, ayikholana, buso wami, awukholana.
Music! Victor Roberts is here. General Roberts is here. General Roberts is here. Candidate for the Erin District, General Roberts.
Mr. Roberts, please approach the platform. Please approach the microphone. Victor Roberts.
Good night to the supporters of the United National Congress. Good night to the Point Fortin executive. Good night to the chairman. Good night to the political leader. If you observe the order in which I call it from, I call it the people first, then to the political leader. Normally they give it from the political leader down to the people, but the political leader works for us. The Prime Minister works for us. Your Member of Parliament works for us. And what we are seeing is not good representation from this government at this present time. Things have to change. Natasha made mention that the changes coming. There's an amalgamation taking place with various parties. People who were dissidents are now coming back to United National Congress and making alliances to save this country. There is nothing new the people of Point Fortin can say. I've grown up here. Every Monday morning, every day, every hour when you pass, you always hear, they're not doing nothing. Point people stupid. All the negative thing they could say. But when election time comes, they get hypnotized, they vote the Balize, and then they go back to complaining. But listen to this. Tobago has made these strides and show that it is not going to happen again. Point Fortin is going to make the strides and show that it is not going to happen again. Trinidad and Tobago is to make the strides and show that it will not be happening again. We will be thinking independently, we'll be looking at issues, and we're going to put our X by the United National Congress when it comes to the election. And any other party that is willing to come and support the United National Congress and help rectify things in this country, we're going to put our X and support those people here. I'm here with Mr. Chankati Loksing to give him my support. When Mr. Chankati Loksing calls, I come because I know he works. There is nothing that Mr. Chankati Loksing, once it's legal. Take a minute and pause. Victor Roberts here. Mr. Bradshaw was just making a comment that Point Fortin has 6 candidates, 6 councillors, 4 aldermen. I just be in and out of Cedar straight down to Carcass, Granville, Bonas, Filton, all those places that are touched down every now and then. And the amazing thing is, there are so much problems to get funding in the Superior Regional Corporation. And then when you hear, that coming, Auntie Kamala coming, that coming. And when you go down Cedros and you watch the development that is taking place at the rapid pace at which it's being taken, it's happening, you stop and you wonder what is going on. I want to say tonight, them 6 and 4, the 6 councillors, the 4 aldermen, I will trade all of them for Mr. Tilok Singh alone. I will do that. They are just a fraction of what Mr. Tilok Singh could do. There are a number of trails that was paved in the Superior Regional Corporation under Mr. Tilok Singh area. No trace that was in a really terrible condition, but he was able to get it done. When I asked him how he was able to pull off so much different little projects all over, he said, boy, it's how you manage. And he had to put it in order as to how much it will affect different people as much as possible. And he could teach you a lot of things. He could teach you. He does work miracles with nothing. As a councillor, he had to take nothing, because that is what the PLM does to the Superior Regional Corporation. They stifle them on numerous occasions. And still, whatever they get, they pool it together and they share it and they make it happen for the betterment of the people of Cedros. So anybody in Cedros say anything negative, they'll have no idea what takes place in the Superior Regional Corporation to make what little happening in Cedros happen. So be very, very thankful for the type of councillor that you all have here. If we had a man like Mr. Tilok Singh, as you remember, Parliament for Point 14, we'd have an airplane, we'd have an airport, we'd have a board port, we'd have all kinds of different facilities in Point 14. We would have been a first world. We would have been a first world status here in Point 14. But the type of representation that they get, Point 14 councillors have no power, none whatsoever. None. They give direction from the higher-ups, and they give them whatever they want, and the councillors stay quiet, even though they have a different opinion and they say nothing. Put people in power that could represent and make a difference in your community, or else you're going to watch what is happening in these areas happen to your community. That have to change. Things have to change. Things will change. Things will change. Mr. Chanka Tilok Singh is without a doubt the man that I am recommending for the Cedros district. There should be no doubt in your mind when it comes to going there and make that vote. If you take a walk through Cedros, go down, you'll see development taking place on the beach, you'll see restaurants being built, you're seeing a lot of different development taking place in the community. Take a look in Point 14. What are you seeing? Bad roads, you have seen bad infrastructure, terrible schools, people complaining, youth sitting down doing nothing. Look and make comparisons with the two areas and ask where you're going to put your vote. There is nowhere in your right thinking individual to look and make a decision and put the X by a ballot. They had to be mad, but I'm glad anybody put the X by the United National Congress. That is sane people. Those are sane people. Because I grew up, I keep hearing, they're stupid. They're always doing the same thing. And then they go back and do that again. I am telling you, I am not stupid. I vote the United National Congress. You vote the United National Congress. We are not stupid people. And we're asking the other people to make sense and come out and vote the United National Congress and vote Mr. Chanka Tilok Singh and watch your community develop at a much faster rate than what's taking place in Point 14. That is what needs to be looked at. Mr. Tilok Singh will be holding you to task. We will continue holding you to task. And we will hope that you continue to perform in the manner in which you perform and improve on it. So I could come here and continuously show you my support. And these people, this crowd that is here tonight, will continue to show your support as long as you continue to perform and increase in what you're doing. We ain't taking nothing going backwards. Only the PNM does send the constituencies backwards. Watch the United National Congress areas. Even though things hard, they're developing at a faster rate. Ask what them is doing and put it in the areas where the PNM is represented. And let us see what takes place. You understand? It is there, it is there. Nobody could doubt it. Nobody could question it. They see it. I hear it. Who knows how much PNM representative lives in UNC control areas? They don't live in the PNM control areas, you know. Look and check out these things. They run to the UNC control areas because there are better conditions there. They have business willing to invest there. Things are happening there. But in the PNM areas, there's only deterioration taking place. We need to stop that. Stop voting race. Look at the issues and make your decision when you make your vote. And ma'am, you will get your raise in pension too. When the United National Congress come back into power, they will solve them problems. There are pensioners, people who qualify for pension, who see in hell to get it. They're seeing hell to get it. All those things was never happening under the United National Congress. So it only a matter of administration. And the difference in administration will make this country develop where it's supposed to be. Vote the United National Congress and vote for Mr. Chankati Loksing. And let him improve this country. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Jerusalema ikayalami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana Jerusalema ikayalami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana.
My friend Brent, and I think he should have been a candidate in the Point Fortin elections. Brent, you really came across well, man. You shocked me, you impressed me. And ladies and gentlemen, he said some things there that you really have to take into consideration. Don't let PNM fool your head. They are a bunch of foolers. You know what has happened in the Point Fortin constituency, in the borough? They're lazy. They're lazy and they're stale. They're really stale. They have no new ideas. They don't listen to anybody. You know what they focus on? They focus on Borde. And after Borde, they start planning for Borde. And after Borde, they start planning again for the next Borde. And all the Bordes is the same Borde. And if you notice something, the Borde is, especially the Juve, when you go and look at what's happening on the street, I sometimes feel sorry for what the PNM has brought some of my Afro-Trinidadian people to be. I have never seen such nakedness and such vulgarity. And a lot of it is imported. It comes from Port of Spain, it comes from Laventille, it comes from Waterhole, from all those areas that are represented by the PNM. So we need more than that. And Brent said something there about how Shankar has helped to develop the Cedros area. I was in Granville last week. In fact, on Monday, I was in Granville. And I am impressed. Is anybody here from Granville? And I was in Bonus 2 weeks ago, and Brent said that change has come, and it is continuing in these areas. And I live in Point Fortin. I live in Clifton Hill. Any of you know where Clifton Hill is? Clifton Hill used to be the Mecca of Point Fortin. That is where the elite used to live. I am doing a video now that we're going to be releasing next week on what Clifton Hill has come to. There are bungalows, there are properties owned by Petrotrin that are worth millions of dollars, with trees growing up in the yard, vines growing up all over the buildings, the places, the spouts are coming down, and it's affecting me. Because if you come to buy my house in Clifton Hill, and I have my place well kept, and you look on the left side and you see a Petrotrin house, and you look on the right side and you see a Petrotrin house, you're not going to pay me the $2 million I'm asking for my property. Because those properties are devaluing the ones that we are trying to keep in good condition. And who is responsible? You know, the borough has the authority to tell Petrotrin, clean up or else, and give them a deadline to clean up. And if they don't clean up in time, they can hire contractors to do the cleaning and charge it to Petrotrin. Now, we thought that they didn't know that. So a number of us, 30 of us who live in Clifton Hill, wrote to them and told them about the condition of Clifton Hill. They have not done a thing. They're lazy, they're stale, and when you talk to them, they say, well, you know, it's the people in Port of Spain. Well, if the people in Port of Spain are keeping you back, what do we need you for? Now, this is different. When I look at Tilak Singh's area, I can see progress. And I want to congratulate Tilak Singh on what he has done. And I am not the only one, because there's a young lady who has just come on the stage. Her name is Chanel Roberts. Where she has, and Chanel has brought a flag waving support with her. Chanel is the daughter of Victor Roberts. I didn't hear yeah for that, right? And Victor Roberts is on the stage. He's going to be addressing you tonight as well. So ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, let me introduce and turn the mic over to Chanel Roberts to speak with you.
A pleasant good night to all protocols observed. I am Chanel Roberts, the UNC candidate for the electoral district of Erin. And tonight, I stand here proudly to endorse Mr. Shankar Tilak Singh as the next councillor for the electoral district of Erin. Sorry. So come out in your numbers, come out resoundingly, and place your X by Mr. Shankar Tilak Singh, the candidate for Cedros. Thank you and good night.
Jerusalema ikayalami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana Jerusalema ikayalami ilondoloze uhambe nami.
Tonight. I did not know that one of my good friends who has been involved in electoral politics for the longest while was coming to this meeting.
Yes.
And I would not allow it to happen if we did not allow her to say a piece. We will give our good friend Dolly Critchlow. I always knew her as Dolly, you know. Now I know her full name. Yeah, Dolly Critchlow has asked to speak for just about 5 minutes. So let me turn the mic over to you, Dolly.
How much
on yours.
This wedding power? How much is 8? 8 years? 8. Right. Okay. Pleasant night to each and everyone. UNC family! UNC family! Camilla family! Mr. Tilak Singh family! Yes! Tonight, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, children, tonight I stand proud here as a member of the United National Congress to come here tonight to endorse Mr. Shankar Tilak Singh as the next councillor for Siparia, which will become a borough. Cedros, but Siparia will become a borough, and he will be there to represent as you are accustomed representing us. Friends and family, are you better off now than 8 years when the red take over Are you better off now? You have more money in the bank? What you will do come the 14th of August? What will you do? Vote them out! Vote them out! Vote them out! We're going to bury them on the 14th of August. I don't even want to call the name. But you all know who we're speaking about. The red clothes people. The red clothes. The Prime Minister said he was not closing down petrol train. What he did? What he do in Library Pitch Lake? I could continue telling you what this bulldog, that's bulldog, the bulldog Prime Minister we have here. What he did? Who started the highway? Who will finish it? Thank you very much. Kamala Prasad-Disesa will continue and she will be taking over the reign. She will get back into government and she will treat us equally. It have no racial, it have no biting, it have no backbiting. Kamala Prasad-Disesa is an impeccable woman. She knows the hearts of our people. She feels our pain. Yes, she started the hospital. Otherwise it would have never been. The money was there and they was not utilizing it, only going in the pocket. But you will give us a chance on the 14th and vote for the rising sun. Vote for Kamala Prasad-Disesa. Vote for every candidate under the United National Congress. Vote for Mr. Tilak Singh. Vote for Tilak Singh. Vote for Mr. Tilak Singh. He's the man for us down here. He want to raise pension, yes, he said so. Imbot said we living too long. I want to know if Imbot is God. I want to know if Imbot is God. He said we living too long. We have to cast them out. We have to bury them. From this election here to the next 2 years, they must never be seen on the face of the earth. We don't want them. We don't want them. We don't want them. We're going to bury them. We're going to vex because Jack Warner come back. They're vexed because Jack Warner come back. Jack Warner say vote but don't vote. Vote but don't vote. Vote but don't vote. Vote the United National Congress. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, Cap De Ville people, wake up. Wake up. Cap De Ville and the surrounding, wake up and vote. Vote for your children. Vote for your grandchildren. Vote for yourself. I thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. On the 14th of August, we will paint Trinidad and Tobago in yellow. 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 Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you see the kind of talent and passion that we have in the UNC? This lady came to the microphone as I have never heard her before and wake up everybody tonight. Right? When she said, vote for Tilak, I saw the reaction from the crowd. It's understood, but I never knew that she had so much passion in her. And tonight is a night not only of passion, tonight is a night of deliberate thinking. But you're going to get a combination of that from the next speaker. This gentleman has been all over, I was going to say Point Fort in Trinidad and Tobago. I was in Beetham once, and I saw this vehicle coming down the road, and I said, wait, no, I know that man. And when he passed, he waved at me and he said, I said, but who knows me here, boy? This man lives in South, and he went to the Beetham and defied the PNM. They couldn't put him out. The people of Beetham wouldn't let them do that because he has a message that everybody wants to hear. He turns on people and he turns people off the PNM. The problem is not that he doesn't like PNM people, you know, but he doesn't like PNMism. PNMism is the thing that you get from Rowley. You get it from, I don't like to call her name, you know. Right? Camille Robinson Regis, right? You get it from Stuart Young, you get it from Faris Al-Rawi, And it is killing Trinidad and Tobago. You know, they call Kamala the leader of the opposition. But I think that Rowley is the leader of the opposition of the opposition. Everything that Kamala says, he tries to shoot it down. But he's in trouble now. She made a statement the other day, light them up. And he is saying that is irresponsible. But let me tell you something. He himself, a year and a half ago on a platform, said, what you all want me to do? You can't put a policeman in everybody's house, which is true. But if you can't put a policeman in everybody's house, you have to allow people to defend themselves. And that is what Kamala is pledging. She's pledging standalone legislation that will allow good, decent people, not every rabble-rouser about the place, good, decent people to apply for and receive the means of protecting themselves and their family. When I hear the criticisms that are coming at her, and she stood up and said, I don't care what you say, I am going ahead with it, and she's correct, right? When I hear the criticisms, I wonder what these people will say. If you are in your house, and a man breaks down the door, and he has 3 or 4 people behind him, what are you going to say? Please sit down and have tea with us, right? Welcome to my home. You'll be dead before you get a chance to do that. And let me give you a little story. I have a cousin who lives in Atlanta, in Georgia. I spent 2 weeks at his home in 2011. We get along really good. And one morning I was having breakfast and he said, you know anything about guns? I said, only a little bit. And he put a gun on the table. I was shocked. A very, well, I don't know guns all that well, but a very impressive weapon. And then I said to him, where did you get that? He said, hold on. And he went in the box on the side and he opened it up. And he had 26 weapons in the box. He used to be in the US Army, and he has become a gun collector. So I said, boy, you don't feel vulnerable with all those guns? And he said, why should I feel vulnerable? In Atlanta, you don't even have to apply to buy a weapon. He took me to a store, and there were guns all over the shelves, right? And he didn't go to buy a gun that day, he went to buy ammunition, and it's like buying, like buying groceries. So I got a little worried. I said, how does this work? Atlanta, the population of Atlanta is 5.5 million people. The population of Trinidad is 1.4 million. That year, Atlanta had 103 murders, and they fired the commissioner of police because he had promised to keep the murder rate below 100. And on the day after the figures were published, they fired him. You know how many murders we had that year in Trinidad with 1.4 million people? 503. 400 more than they. You know how it works? If you break into somebody's house in Atlanta and they shoot you, that's you know. The inquiry is done the next day. You had no right to be in the person's property. Right? And there are no questions asked. And what Kamala is saying is not even as oppressive as that, it's not as aggressive as that. What she is saying, people have a right to protect themselves if the government and the police cannot protect them. And she's correct. But that's as much as I want to say on this issue, because I'm speaking before a man who I love to hear. I'm speaking before Victor Roberts. I've spoken on this platform on 2 occasions before, and I have always been very impressed with him. So ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, let me bring to the microphone the one and only Victor Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable political leader, members of the head table, our distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good night. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as I stand before you, I want you to pay attention to what is happening within your country. It seems as though that in Trinidad and Tobago, that the people believe the stories of the PNM, and based on that, we have seen over the years that even though they prove that what Keith Rowley and the PNM continue to do to them, yet for some reason they go to the polls and they vote for the PNM. I want to let you know tonight that Point Fortin, Labre, and the whole of the Southland, you the people who vote for the PNM, you are the enemies of productivity in this island. You have deprived yourself, you have deprived your children, you are now depriving your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and even the unborn babies when you support Keith Rowley and the People's National Movement. We have seen Keith Rowley in 2015 came to you, this country, and said to you that give me the chance to become the Prime Minister, and I will ensure that the playing field level in Point Fortin, in Labre, in Beetham, and all the PNM constituencies. What we have seen when Keith Rowley became the Prime Minister, it's not only a deterioration of these constituencies, but Keith Rowley have eroded the democratic process, the life and livelihood, and the sustenance of you, the people in the PNM constituency. If you are to examine every time an election is called, you will see and hear Rowley invoke what we can consider the race card. So you will hear statements like, I am a proud black man. You will hear statements, let Kamla Prasad Bisesa go so with this banana talk. But under the pandemic, when water was more than flour, it was the same Keith Rowley who had you to believe that Kamla Prasad Bisesa were looking at you as monkeys. It was the same Keith Rowley that said to this country, if you are eating 2 bananas, give your neighbor 1. The people of this country, you are your own enemies. You have seen from 1956 the principles and the policies of the People's National Movement weren't working for you in any way possible. The PNM had never developed your human resources. The PNM had never developed the young people in this country. And when you see a Prime Minister could stand up when the special branch brought information against the Youth Minister, Foster Cummins, and tell the Prime Minister that Foster Cummins, this this gentleman is involved in gang activities or involved with gang leaders, Rowley stood up and tell this country that he stands with his minister. When you examine, ladies and gentlemen, over the years of the PNM, you will find that at one time, Marlene MacDonald, who was sworn in as the member of parliament for Port of Spain South, Marlene need to tell us how a gangster, an alleged gangster by the name of Burkey, ended up in the president's house. We have seen, ladies and gentlemen, even under the Patrick Manning government, there was a notorious by the name of Mark Guerra. Mark Guerra, according to the TTPS, after he was executed in Waterfield, we have seen the TTPS telling us that Mark Guerra were wanted for a number of serious crimes, including murder. But yet Patrick Manning, as the then Prime Minister, appointed Mark Guerra, the notorious, as the advisor to Jarat Narain, who was the Minister of Local Government. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a big contractor who is charged for giving his friend his legal license firearm. The police search his house and they recover over 25 different weapons. But yet, when you look at Carnival Gone, you will see Faris Alwari, you would see other cabinet ministers in Skinner Park in San Fernando rubbing shoulders for a man who is charged with a criminal offense. So don't let them fool you. The PNM always associate themselves with the criminal element in this country. So when you hear Kamla Prasad Bisasa speak about reloading the clip and light them up, I want to tell you today, Rowley stood up and said that some kind of irresponsible statement. Well, I could understand. I will always rather take an irresponsible statement than have an irresponsible Prime Minister. Keith Christopher Rowley is the worst thing that ever sit on a Prime Minister chair in this country. Keith Christopher Rowley, ladies and gentlemen, is responsible for your demise. It was Keith Rowley who said to you that the government was not closing down the Petrotrin. It was Keith Rowley who said, I'm speaking to the mothers. And if you was closing your fridge door and you didn't hear what I said, let me say it again with such arrogance. The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin. Today, ask Keith Rowley, where is Petrotrin? Ask Keith Rowley, where is Petrotrin? The Petrotrin fiasco, ladies and gentlemen, started when Nicole Olivier, the member of parliament for Labre, who was the Minister of Energy, allowed an investigation to take place in relation to a fake oil scandal. When we watch the whole surroundings and the whole mama guy with this fake oil fiasco, as time went on, the public learned that the man who was the center of the fake oil scandal was Keith Rowley, personal friend and a financier to the PNM. And while this investigation was going on, Keith Rowley tell us that he was going for medical treatment abroad. But yet, while Keith Rowley was abroad, he was not sick enough not to call his good friend A&V. When Keith Rowley was abroad, he wasn't sick enough, ladies and gentlemen, to have a conversation with one Vidya Dilki Singh in relation to the whole fake oil fiasco. But you know what become of that whole situation? Today, all the surrounding communities, including you in Cedras, who would have benefited from that industry, today you feeling the full brunt of the evil, corrupt practice of the PNM as a result of your refinery and Petrotrin no more. You must remember, ladies and gentlemen, that you have a responsibility. The Constitution makes provision for you, the people, to decide and to determine who runs your affairs, whether it be from the local standpoint or whether it be from the central standpoint. And today, after the courts, the Privy Council ruled that the government acted illegal in relation to postponing the local government election, today you have the opportunity to send a message to this corrupt PNM government that you have had enough and you will do what you need to do to ensure that you have councillors from the local level like Tilok Singh to represent you, to perform and to ensure that your standard of living is improved from local government. Local government, ladies and gentlemen, meet your everyday needs. Local government is the liaison, the hands-on to you, the population, and the wealth that comes through local government. But before I go there, I want to tell you about the PNM B team. There is a PNM B team that is walking all about with some kind of sour orange color. I want you to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that the PNM B team would stop at nothing to allow the PNM to be victorious in Cedras. So your responsibility, forget the propaganda and the old talk. Forget the halfway video that they post on social media to tell you Shankar ain't do this and he ain't do that and he ain't do the other. Forget the old talk that they go fix it. If they could have fixed anything, they would not have had a pedophile from Santa Flora on the platform with them telling people to vote for them when people trying to protect the children from that pedophile in Santa Flora. So it seems as though that their homework they didn't do, because if they did do their homework properly, they would have seen and know and understand what Tilok Singh had been doing with the little bit of resources that was given to him from central government to ease the problem in the Cedras district. So they wasn't doing their homework. So you have a responsibility. And your responsibility, ladies and gentlemen, is to ensure that on August 14th, that you, the people, forget about tying the goat. Forget about going and make the roti and when I'm done. Forget about pass back for me the pot on the fire. Let me tell you something. You have one opportunity every 3 years and every 5 years to vote to support what is going on or to vote against what is going on. And the pressure that you people under this PNM government, turn off the pot and leave the goat in the pen and go and vote. Go out and vote and make sure that Shankar Tilaksen is the next counselor for the district of Cedars. You have a responsibility. I have known this man for a while. I went down to Cedars to assist him with a protest when we had water problem, was it? Down the carcass, water problem. And we went down there and we stood with ground. And it is the fastest I ever see Wassa water truck running left, right and center. Because this gentleman had planned to take precise action against Wassa. You have a landslip on the way to Cedars. Just after Chatham going down the road. Rowley came Paraseko last week. And he apologized to Trinidad and Tobago. Telling Trinidad and Tobago, he's sorry. I am sorry for the condition of the roads. But listen to this. While he's sorry for the condition of the roads, Rohan Sinanan, brother-in-law, paving left, right and center. And they pave today, whole come back tomorrow. That is Rohan Sinanan, brother-in-law. And if you don't know who is Rohan Sinanan, brother-in-law, just take a drive on the way to Library. Or just watch you paving day and night. Rowley came down last week, Friday, Thursday night. Machine running down the road. That is how the game play. So they allow you to suffer for 4 years. An election jump up. Well, 8 years in total. Election jump up. And right now, machine running left, right and center. Would you be fooled by that? You couldn't get water for all these years. Right now, water bursts in the pipe. Well, it is nothing new with water bursts in the pipe. But water, we campaigning. And a woman tell us in Salazar Trace, she said, well, boy, I never see water evermore. You know why water evermore? Election silly season is here. And that is what they do to you every 5 years and every 3 years. They punish you, they whip you, and as an election call, they come to you and they bring some goodies. And people who have no vision, they jump for the goodies and then they suffer for the next 4 years. I want you, the people of Cedars, to stand your ground. And stand your ground firmly that on the 14th of August 2023 that you would not wait for a car to come and look for you. Come out by the road and look for a car. And if you don't have no money to go in the polling station, tell them drop me by the polling station Tilaksen go pay. Tell them that. Drop me by the polling station Tilaksen will pay. And go to the polling station and cast your vote for none other than the incumbent, a man who stand with you, a man who stand for you, a man who will stand with you. Go out and vote on the 14th and ensure that the United National Congress return Tilaksen to the Sipa Regional Corporation, where you would be service and service in a professional manner. Good night and God bless you.
know. That was Victor Roberts. Let's have a round of applause for Victor. He put up the front tone on the night. You know what he did tonight? He pointed out to you that under the Rowley administration, this country has gone down. You know, he said a few things, and there are some things that he didn't have time to say. One of the things that he did not say, he said about selling the refinery shutting down the refinery in Pointe-à-Pierre. You know they shut down the refinery in Point too. People tend to forget that. And when they shut down the refinery in Point, they said, send all the oil to Pointe-à-Pierre, and we will fix it. You know why Pointe-à-Pierre had to go down? Bad management. Because they filled up all the management positions with PNM sycophants. Every one of them were incompetent. They thought that they were running a refinery when they should have been running a business. And the whole thing just collapsed. And more than that is happening. Some of you don't know it, but all the guns that are coming into Trinidad and Tobago, they say they're passing through the porous borders. I think some of them passing through the airport and all over the place. So Rowley decided that he was going to stop the guns from coming in. So what did he do? He got together with his riding partner, Stuart Young, and they went down to Australia, and they ordered 2 OPVs. An OPV is a ship, a warship, that patrols outside of the borders of Trinidad and Tobago. You know where the warships are now? They're tied up in Chagaramas. Right? They have all kinds of problems. They didn't come into a contract with the manufacturers to maintain the vehicles. So $1.6 billion, not millionaire, $1 billion has gone down the drain, and guns coming into Trinidad unabated. Rowley said that they knew what they were doing when they were shutting down the refinery. In fact, he said, we're not shutting down the refinery. You're not shutting down the refinery. 2 weeks later, a white man come and say, all must go. All must go. Now, you know what that reminds me of? There was a fellow who had a big fridge, and he figured that he wanted some money to play away. So he sold the fridge, and every day he's sending his son in the grocery to buy ice. We are exporting all our oil, and he doesn't tell you that we're paying money to bring back gasoline and dieseline. All they're telling you is how much money they make from selling the oil outside. But they don't tell you how much you're paying for the products that are coming in here that we could have made ourselves. And after all of that, you know what he did? He went to Guyana earlier this year, and he offered the president of Guyana to refine all the oil that they're producing now in the refinery in Pointe-à-Pierre. He doesn't know what's going on. Guyana producing 500,000 barrels of oil a day now. 500,000 barrels a day. The maximum capacity in the Pointe-à-Pierre refinery was 320,000 barrels. So Guyana told them, well, we'll see now. But in the meantime, Guyana has already gone behind his back and negotiated for a brand new refinery to refine 35,000 barrels of oil. They don't care about Rowley. They have no respect for him. And that is what he has brought Trinidad and Tobago to. And all he concentrates on is Kamla, 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 UNC. Race. And while he's doing that, there was a fellow from a country in Africa named Rwanda. He's not easy. He's taller than me, and he's thinner than me, but he's smarter than me. He was here 3 weeks ago. And while Rowley was talking all his nonsense, he got together with the president of Guyana and with the prime minister of Barbados, and they formed a company. So Barbados and Rwanda and Guyana have formed a company to manufacture medicines to sell all over the world, while he wasting time by talking Kamla. That man is a waste of our time. And he is a waste of time in Trinidad and Tobago to all but his friends. Who are his friends? The 1%. You know what the 1% are doing? The 1% are importing most of the food that comes into Trinidad and Tobago. 80% of the food that comes in here is imported by them. And you know how much money is spent on food imports? $6 billion a year. I didn't say million, you know, billion. Now, if they get 10% profit from that, they walk away with 600 million TT dollars in their pocket. So when the budget is read, And they allocate $3 billion for security and $2.8 billion for education. How much does agriculture get? Less than 1 million. You know why? The Syrians tell him, don't plant no food. Don't let them Indians get away and plant food to feed Trinidad and Tobago. We will supply the food, and the damn fool does it. That is where Trinidad and Tobago is. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to take anything away from the next speaker. I know you've been waiting for him. I have been waiting to hear him as well. He's a very good friend of mine, and he's an excellent performer. All the speakers who came before spoke of him, and nobody said anything negative, right? And tonight, I know we want to hear from your counselor, the man who is going to be your repeat counselor after the election on the 14th, because we are all going to be supporting Shankar Tilak Singh, right? For counselor for the Sea Justice League. Let's have Shankar Tilak Singh come to the microphone for the feature justice.
You gotta stand your ground.
UNC.
Don't back down.
On the road to victory, standing strong, and we ain't backing down. Cause we fed up of the school-less dictate, and we're running the island.
This
man come to mash up the country. Now the people have to push back. So it's time for us to stand firm and show them we ain't taking that. So stand your ground. And if you're fed up of the crime, stand your ground. The food price is too high, stand your ground. And every 2 months pass, stand your ground. Don't raising the gas, stand your ground. All across the nation, stand your ground. It's only home invasion, stand your ground. Now the light been raised, stand your ground. And only guns in the place, stand your ground. So we don't back down, 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 stand your ground. This current administration, they don't care about the people. No way. Everything they do in this country here is to fulfill their ego. These people raise the gas and they laughing, saying how we ain't riot yet. It's time for we to stand firm and show them right now we upset. So stand your ground. And if you're fed up of the crime, stand your ground. The food price is too high, stand your ground. And every 2 months pass, stand your ground. Don't raising the gas, stand your ground. All across the nation, stand your ground. It's only home invasion, stand your ground. Now the light been raised, stand your ground. And only guns in the place, stand your ground. So we don't back down, 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 stand your ground.
Oh yeah.
They start to attack me. They feel we don't remain quiet. But we here in full force and we are attacking. We are attacking. We are attacking. I just get a little thing on my phone. The PNM have a waking point for 10 shot. You're talking to ghosts by the cemetery. Check your representative, the Kennedy Richards Facebook page. A little tent and they have nobody. You understand? We will continue to show our presence in Point 410, in Cedrus, in Erin, and New Village. This is our comrades who will go forward and take the necessary action to represent you in the Point 410 Borough Corporation, in Erin Electoral District, and in the Cedrus District under the Siparia Borough Corporation, ladies and gentlemen. No mad people! No mad people! Don't make a mistake. Terence Dial Singh sent out some mad people, a retired ward matron from Ward 1 and the next one from St. Anne's, and they feel that they could convince you because they feel they're mad. Nobody are mad. It's only the PLM mad. We have good UNC soldiers in this area. The Cap De Ville villagers, make sure and come out in your numbers this evening. We are attacking. They are touch. You touch one, you touch all. You touch one, you touch all. Tonight, I send greetings from Cap De Ville to our political leader, the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa, to say we are strong in Cedrus, and we're coming forward to Point 410, into the Siparia Borough Corporation, into the Point 410 Borough Corporation, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get vexed. I tell them that. I just be quiet, I calm, I loving. As I walk through the district, we feel the tears, the pain, the smiles, the hot sun, the rain, and each one of you all here tonight was with me. Stand and give yourself a hearty round of applause as I know the pain you go through, ladies and gentlemen. Comrades, we vex, and we will vex on election day on August 14th.
and bring it home under the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisesa, ladies and gentlemen. Comrades, firstly I want to thank you for coming out in your numbers tonight and representing a party, the next party, to form the government of Trinidad and Tobago under the distinguished leadership of Kamla Prasad Bisesa. I respectfully thank you for giving me the opportunity, the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisesa, and you for the opportunity to serve you for the next term and hear it for the next term in the Sipara Borough Corporation, ladies and gentlemen. So we can achieve what we have continued to pledge to you in representing you at the highest level. Because as a councillor, I did not sit in the Sipara Regional Corporation then and fix box train and pave roads and make sure that you had a good standard of life. I went beyond that. And you would have seen in the health sector that we would have negotiated with international agencies to provide medical care for you. How much? 169 eye surgeries in the Cedros district, cataract surgeries free of charge under the U.S. Embassy assistance with the USN Comfort. Ladies and gentlemen, we went on further through UNHCR and other agencies bringing us to assist you in terms of bringing these medical care. We hear some of them now promising 24/7 ambulance. We had that. Is DL Singh closed it down in Cedros? DL Singh closed down the 24 ambulance service and the 24/7 health center that we had down in Cedros. You now coming to talk about that? Boy, catch yourself. Bring it back now. You're in government. Put it in place. DL Singh, release you from sentence to come to attack Shankar Tilak Singh. We ain't taking that. I tell you, don't get me vexed, boy. You understand? Little boys, politics is a serious game. You don't play with people's life. And we have an ex-washout orange. An ex-washout orange. You know when you wash out the red? Right? And man says B team is the P team. The PEE team. Because that's what they do it all about. Looking for the little salvation inside Budram Trace Point Coco. Check the history. When they was to go and hide. I don't know what they was going to hide from. Victor is my lawyer, and we have court closed. You understand? But check and see what else to go Point Coco and hide before. It's not me. It's not me. But we're going ahead. We have time tonight to talk about them because we have serious business to talk here tonight. Serious. What is at stake, ladies and gentlemen? Comrades, what is at stake under this PNM government? We must understand that what really impacts your life today from where it was in 2010, 2015, right? In terms of your standard of life, in your personal security, you had a job, you had security in your schools, and all the necessary things that under Kamla Prasad is a laptop, proper healthcare system. We built hospitals. We had 24/7 police protection. You see blue lights flashing all over the place and so on. You could rest comfortable. Today, what we are fearful of, and we have fear in our homes, in our heart, is the high level of murder, home invasion, school violence. As we go on, right? Constant fear of your child's safety on the roads as they go to school or they go to do their courses and so on. Job loss, high food prices, high fuel prices. How much time there is fuel, ladies and gentlemen? Right? You talk about flooding, TNTech, your light bill, your water rate. You going to vote for somebody who promised to increase your cost of living? That is what you're going to vote for, ladies and gentlemen? Oh Lord, forget what you're talking about. They promise you that they're going to raise your property tax. They're going to raise your light bill. They're going to raise your water rate. And you're going to vote for that? That is what you're going to vote for on August 14th? Think twice and stay home if you're going to vote PNM or anything else. Or PP. Vote for anything else beside the PNM and PP. Because that's what they're promising. To raise your water rate. To raise your TNTech rate. Ladies and gentlemen, how you could vote for somebody who continue to destroy the little house that you build? They want that from you. You work hard. You get taxed with your income tax. You go to the hardware. You get tax on that. You pay VAT. And now when you finish and you're well make your nice little house and you have your little air condition and you're comfortable. They want to charge you because you have a nice house. That is fear. Man, Stuart Young and Rowley, get out. Bring down, get down from there. Come down from there, Rowley. Come down from there, Stuart Young. Come down from there, but the healthcare system. Look, my comrades, I mean, we're fearful that when you have an emergency in the carcass, you know it's because of your councillor that the Carcass Health Center remains open, that the services, some of the services that the Alsing want to take away from Cedras and other health center, the clinic, to send it to Point Fortin, where you don't even have a good bus service from the Carcass to go to Point Fortin. We decentralize these things so poor people who are unable to have transport, it's easier to transport via a small group of medical practitioners to these various outreach centers to provide healthcare for you. They're removing that. You can't even get the required medication in the Carcass Health Center. When you go to Bonus, you have a problem. The nurse tell you come back, the pharmacist say come back. That is where we reached to. Under 2010, 2015, you never had that issue, ladies and gentlemen. That is what you're going to vote for on August 14th. The Alsing, take your crazy people and put them back in sentence. Tell them that. The both of them. So we will work together in positive arrangement. And why? Why the UNC is the better option? Anybody could tell me? You have a track record. The Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisesa has a track record with making your life better. We would have seen firsthand, right, in terms of how we come together and deal with people issue. We are on the ground. You would be on the ground. We'll be on the when you have flooding, in terms of natural disasters, in terms of the necessary framework for infrastructure development. We will continue to work in the Cedras district. They closed down let me start from point first. If you feel, well, okay, use a PNM and use a PNM till you're dead. When you're dead, you're in trouble, because you can't get a birth certificate in point anymore, A death certificate, you never quite, maybe Port of Spain. The lady died, the worker, the civil servant died during COVID. Who was to operate the births and death office in Point Fortin, right? That Registrar General who was to be there, right? She, since then, what's that man called? The Attorney General? I can't remember his name. I said I waste of time, right? He can't even appoint somebody to take over that under the Ministry of Legal Affairs. Right? When we were in government, you could have got a birth certificate, a death certificate, or any services from the Registrar General office right in Point Fortin. Why they treat Point Fortin and Cedras, the Southwest Peninsula, so? Where the wealth of the nation comes from. So they closed down that. We could have got a passport right in Cedras. They closed down that. They closed down where you can get your little social services and so on. They closed down that. The port where we must have a little legal system where you have passengers going back and forth. You can come down from Port of Spain, dock in the Cedras port, and other economic activities that would have been taking place in Cedras. Legally, Stuart Young closed that too. The bus service has continued to be a challenge for Cedras. You close down that too. Right? So, I mean, what you want, we are fighting to get the road fixed. You would see protests over protests. And by no mistake, if you see a landslide fixing or a road paving, it's because they know we coming for them in the morning, because you have a van load of police coming, but we are afraid of them, we respect them, and we're working with the police too. We're working with them to improve your tax dollars to make sure that you could get the road patch, a road pave, and so on. So when they hear, I write Rohan Sinanan, and I write the next one, I can't remember his name too. You understand? And write the other thing and send it like that. Up to now, the member for parliament was here a file high so.
with requests. That is why they have to act. Because they continue to fail you. The man right next door, we go have water problem, then boys come in the office and say we fed up. We walk across, you can't find him. You can't find him. You can't find them. Because he what? In a plane flying high, he get the big time promotion. Political appointed to fly plane. Getting the big salary, MP rate, and to hell with you. That is what he's thinking about you. That is what Kennedy Richards, the MP for Point Fortin, is thinking about Cedras and Point Fortin too. Because he's still at the level as a councillor and not as a parliamentary representative. And Victor made a point when we made the protests for water in the carcass and we continue to pressure them. Gonzalez gone in the parliament, and that is when fire councillor name is be called in the public media and calling me a mischief maker. But I will be a mischief maker until water flow in your pipe. I will be that and let Patel Trace know that the last house going on there. You understand? I will continue to represent you at all levels, both in the parliament and outside the parliament, in the Superior Borough Corporation, and your voices will be heard in the international arena. That is the type of person, because I don't sit down when I see people suffering. We walk through there, I tell you. They hold me and they cry. Tears from old people falling here. And Brent made a statement. I am here. You could reach me every time. I love you. I will continue to work with you and work to at least build the Cedras district, the next capital of Trinidad and Tobago, ladies and gentlemen.
Rowley, you dog. Look how hot.
We turn on to this next one. Education. What is happening in our schools? Today, you finish your CAPE, your CXC, and so on. When you go to gates, they cry in Woodford Square and say, Auntie Kamla will close down the gate. What happened now? What happened now? But people can't even send the children to university. You're getting funding. Huh? Exactly, you have to work with your PNM party card and beg too, because when you're poor boy, they say, hey, you're going and hold yourself. You have to beg. And that is what they bring down this country to, of which each citizen must be able to at least benefit from the system, your tax-paying dollars, the oil, petroleum, the system that we have, the dollar that comes through, the petroleum dollar that comes through this country to benefit you. And that was what the United National Congress was doing under the leadership of Kamala Persad-Bissessar, ladies and gentlemen. What we are offering you, what I am offering you today under local government as your next councillor. I hear a man say he's a councillor already. But you get a vote yet, and I'm sure he might get a vote for himself. Right? We are offering secure communities. We working to restart the community. We working towards supporting the community comfort patrols. True, again, that will come through the borough corporation with the addition of increasing our municipal police and so on. So first, we securing your home, gated communities. It could be done. We will work, we have the experts, and the other political leader will reveal these plans as we continue to work in terms of the national executive and the leadership of the UNC to have the directions of having the community comfort patrol. With our allies, we have the Honorable Gary Griffith, who will be there to guide us through the process to set up that plan. So it is a reality plan. We are also offering securing the schools with additional municipal police looking at the violence in schools and dealing with the necessary infrastructure to make sure that your children are safe in our schools for creating good learning environment for our children. Secure our streets, ladies and gentlemen. We want to walk freely in our beaches and the necessary infrastructure that we will have in the Cedras district. Tourism is the number one plan as we increase and we advertise and we get the necessary economic turnaround in the Cedras district through our local natural resources, which is our environment, our beaches, our natural areas that we have as for tourism, both local and international tourism. We are encouraging, we'll work, right now we are working with the business community to have guest houses and the necessary accommodation for visitors within the Cedros district. That has been working well, and we are seeing that whole sort of a development in the Cedros area. Very soon, we are working with some individual who has plans for a hotel, a chain of hotel within the Cedros district. So we are converting some of the abandoned estates into real estate so that we can have that sort of a harmonious situation with the necessary support from the business community and also through the Sipara Regional Corporation. Securing your neighborhood, we touched that. Securing your economy. Monitoring the situation both in local government, ministry, and through the necessary ministries that we will have the installation through the Sipara Borough Corporation. We will install and have, through the municipal police, have our CCTV cameras monitoring and continue to monitor the system that we will continue to think. Meanwhile, what the other side is offering you? What they offering on you? What they pass it around? I hear some of them say we go put a landing stage. Some of them saying they go, what? Make something for the fishermen. What they really offering? You know what they're offering? They're offering you again 25% inheritance tax. So when you decide to give your children, after you work hard and build your home and so on, and they decide to say, well, okay, my son, you taking off that foundation that I set for you, or your daughter, or whosoever is the next person that will carry on from the foundation that you have set. You know, when you do that transfer of a gift, a deed of gift, you have to pay Rowley and Imbut 25% of the value, because before you transfer it, you have to go and get an evaluation. And once it evaluates and it's a certain amount, I can't remember the exact figure, you have to pay 25% of that. Who will pay that? Your son? Right? So these are the things that you have to be very careful. These are the things you have to be very careful when you go on election. I tell all your elections is serious business. Right? You look at what were they offering you? How much murders and robberies taking place in this country? Right down, I passed through Sumai Trace recently. They come out and say, well, oh Lord, we're afraid to even come out and be part of the meeting because we know who watching we. That is where we reach to. You understand? That is what the PNM is offering you. Property tax. Punishing you for sacrificing for building a home. That is what they're offering you. They continue. URP, exactly. URP, and all that. That's the job that the Kennedy Richards doing, you know. He's doing welfare to see if you're a waka man or a waka lady, or if you have some party card, so that they could. That's what they're doing. While you're supposed to have fear and system, the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisesa created over 100 jobs and was not UNC people with party card. Every single member of this country was able to apply and have a job. Don't worry, we just know them. When they come in the office, they have a difference. Just like when they come in front of my house and start to behave like Wajan. Ring your bell there for that. So this election on August 14th, you have to make a choice. And the choice is clear. The choice is clear. You don't have no choice again. But the United National Congress. Vote is a simple vote for your family, vote for you, vote for your family security. This means that the party that will be in power will be the United National Congress. A plan, we have a plan and competent and capable team of securing you and your family and your community. Stand your ground. Stand your ground with the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisesa and the United National Congress. Stand your ground with your councillor. Stand your ground with the team that will go in the Sipara Borough Corporation and demand your taxpayers' dollar end up at your community that will secure. Stand your grounds today, ladies and gentlemen. Vote, continue to vote, and come out in the numbers and vote, and stop toting, ladies and gentlemen. Long live the United National Congress. Long live the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisesa. As we go forward, vote on August 14th for the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisesa, United National Congress, and Councillor Shankar Tiloksing. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. As I recognize members in the head table here, I recognize the pastor and Ms. Edwards that pray with us. I recognize Mr. Bradshaw, Mr. Bretzka, Mr. Dolly, the Honorable Denison Pierre, Victor Roberts, as I look on the time, Jai. We are the team, so it's not Shankar Tiloksing. You're voting for a team to go forward. And the hearing, Chanel Roberts, and all of us will come together as we will account to you for every cent that we have to actually account to you for. Some of them can't do that, ladies and gentlemen. So I thank you, and be tuned to come out in your numbers at Bonus Car Park on the 11th, Friday, the 11th of August, as we continue to push forward. Long live the United National Congress. Long live you, the foot soldiers of the United National Congress. Long live our political leader. Thank you very much.
Every minute them would raise the budget. PNM government them unfit. Suffer poor people in pandemic. PNM government them unfit. Give we 2% then they laugh at it. PNM government them unfit. PNM feel they bright. They can win election tonight. Come down from there, Rowley. Come down from there, Rowley. Me stupid advice. Shampa coach to them they not nice. Come down from there, Rowley. Come down from there, Rowley. Rowley, come down. UNC in tongue. Faris, come down. UNC in tongue.
Our new councillor to be. Let's get for Shankar Tiloksing. Let's hear it for the United National Congress. And I want, in closing, to thank all of you who have turned out tonight. I know some of you have come from as far away as Icacos. Victor Roberts has come from Santa Flora. But we stand united behind your candidate, Shankar Tiloksing. And I have no doubt that on the night of the 14th of August, we're going to be celebrating with you, your new councillor, Shankar Tiloksing. Long live the UNC, long live Shankar. God bless you all, and be safe as you return to your homes.
Jerusalema, ikayalami, ilondoloze. Uhambe nami, zungangishilana. Jerusalema, ikayalami, ilondoloze.